dehydration.
Hey everyone, it's Victoria with Nutrition by Victoria, and in this video I'm going to discuss my top tips for successful breastfeeding. So I've been breastfeeding my child for 4 months now, and it's definitely like supporting her in terms of her growth and development, her health, and it's just created an all-around great relationship between me and my baby. So I want to share with you the reasons why I think I've had such a successful bout of breastfeeding with my baby. So my number one tip would be to do your research prior to breastfeeding or having your baby. You really want to have a good foundation of information and knowledge about breastfeeding so that you can feel positive about the experience that lies ahead. I took classes, I read books, I talked to women who had breastfed their babies. I also met with a lactation consultant at the facility where I delivered my child, and all of that combined information really helped me to understand how breastfeeding worked and helped me to create the mindset that I needed in order to say, hey, I can do this. I'm gonna push through whatever obstacles come in my way. So there was going to be no excuses. I was going to breastfeed my baby. There wasn't any other option, and that's the mindset that I had. I feel like a lot of women think that if the baby takes or whatever in terms of breastfeeding working for them, and really I think mom just has to have it in her mind that she's going to make it work. My second tip would be to let your baby feed on demand. So in order to create the amount of milk your child needs to assist with their growth and development and their health, that baby's going to need to feed on a regular basis according to when they need to feed. So you want to ditch any kind of scheduled feeding. You don't want to supplement with formula. You don't want to give them water. You don't want to do anything that's going to interfere with their ability to communicate to your body what their needs are. So every time baby feeds, it sends a positive feedback loop in mommy's mammary glands that she needs to produce more milk. So baby feeds, milk production goes up. If you supplement with other things, then baby's not feeding as much, so milk production goes down. Another tip that can help with helping milk production go up, because what happens when you first have your baby, you're producing colostrum, and then the actual milk takes a few days to come in because the baby's stomach is really small and it's not ready for a high volume of fluid yet. But in order, like in my case, my baby was just really hungry all the time, so I let her feed a lot, and I also started manually pumping. So if you're having issues with creating enough milk, you can also pump. And it might not, if you first start pumping, you might not be able to create a lot of milk at first, but if you keep pumping like the same time every day, you'll start generating more milk. So it's a positive feedback system. You want to let baby feed on demand so that your body can produce what they need to support their growth and development. My third tip would be for mom to stay hydrated. Your milk's going to be primarily comprised of water. So in order to support your milk production, you're going to need to stay hydrated, and that means drinking enough water every day. Generally, that's about 2.5 to 3 liters a day, depending on your size, for an adult woman, and those are minimums. So I'm about 5'11", about 150 pounds, and I require at least 3 liters of water a day to support my breast milk production and to be active. Another thing with hydration, you want to be consuming foods that are high in water content and not dehydrating. So if you're eating a lot of cooked foods, a lot of foods where the water's been removed, you are going to need to either drink more water or eat more water-rich produce in the place of some of that dehydrated food again, so you can keep your milk supply up. Okay, number 4. you want to eat a healthy diet. So now is the time. If you skipped out on eating healthy while you're pregnant, you really want to focus on eating healthy now, because all the nutrients that you eat through your diet are going to go into baby as well. So my suggestion is to follow a high carb, low fat, plant-based vegan diet, because it's the most nutrient dense diet on the planet that you can follow. That's the diet that I personally follow. It's helped me to shed weight after having the baby fairly quickly, so I bounced back fast. And it's also best supported my child in terms of her growth, development, and health. So my milk production is high, and it's also really high in nutrient density. Something that you can do in order to keep track of your fuel intake, your calorie and nutrient intake, is to use chronometer.com. And that will kind of give you an idea of what's in your diet and what areas you need to beef up things. Like most women have a tendency to be a little lower in calcium and iron. And you can meet all those needs very easily through a calorie sufficient plant-based diet. So I personally eat about anywhere from 2,500 to probably 3,500 calories a day. I also live an active lifestyle. I'm also breastfeeding. Generally, for most adult women, breastfeeding will require an extra 500 calories a day for you to consume in order to meet the needs of the baby. Now, let's say that you're not eating that extra 500 calories a day. Your body is going to give baby everything that it can from your body, and you're going to end up the one with the nutrient deficiencies and the calorie deficiencies and the lowered metabolism and all the stress that comes from not consuming enough nutrients or enough calories. So you want to eat a high nutrient dense diet that's low in fat. The reason why you want it to be low in fat is because fat can actually impede your body's ability to create milk by clogging things up. Fat's a really dense molecule. It clogs up your blood, it'll clog up your lymphatic system, which will interfere with your milk production. So you want to keep the fat low, the carbohydrates high. The reason why you want to keep your carbohydrates high is that's your fuel, that's your gas in your car, that's your energy intake. That is how your body is going to, those carbohydrates are going to assist your body in creating the milk and putting good carbs into the milk for the baby, because breast milk is basically like sugar water, a nutrient-dense sugar water. It's, if you taste it, that's what it tastes like. So it's got a high carbohydrate content in it as well. And plus all the responsibilities of being a new mom, you got to make sure that you're fueling your body with what it needs in order to work correctly, so that you're not stressed out, so that you're able to sleep, so that baby's able to sleep. The diet and lifestyle that I follow has, I think, had a huge impact on my baby's, like I said, health, development, growth, and she also has been sleeping basically through the night since she's been born. When she was a newborn, she was getting up every 4 to 6 hours to feed, and now she'll sleep from 8:30 to 4:30, 8:30 at night to 4:30 in the morning, just straight through. So that's one of the benefits of breastfeeding, and I think also having a really good high quality breast milk production. My last tip, so tip number 5, would be to find a comfy place to nurse. So nursing is going to cause your back to slump if you don't have any support. So what I recommend is getting a nursing pillow, especially when baby's really small. Once they start to gain a little bit of head control, you can opt for a nursing position while you're lying down. And I'll show a clip of me and baby feeding together, just to show what that looks like.
You're living in places where it's not fresh running water, a lot of stress, financial pressure, inadequate nutrition, not enough calories, not enough vitamin C, dehydration. And
so you just want to find a comfy place for you and baby, because sometimes, feedings can last, at least in my experience, anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. So sometimes those nightly feedings, the ones before she goes down for a long period of time, she'll nurse for quite a long period of time, and that can put a lot of strain on your back if you don't have the proper support. So I suggest getting a nursing pillow or opting for a a position where you're lying down on the floor. So that's it for my top tips for successful breastfeeding. I hope that you will find them helpful. If you need any help with getting your diet straightened out as a breastfeeding mom, or you're pregnant, or you're looking to get pregnant, or you're just looking for help and you're not, a woman, you can contact me through my website, nutritionbyvictoria.com. I do offer coaching, so that is an option for you if you need some assistance. Otherwise, please like this video if you did, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and have a happy, healthy day. Bye.